Hi, hello. My name is Naomi. Welcome to step 3 of how to train your dog to do a perfect heel. If you haven't seen step 1 and or 2, I do suggest you check that one out first because we're already advancing into more difficult stuff, and obviously you won't be able to do that if you can't do the basic stuff. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Step 3 again consists of 2 parts. When we're teaching our dog or the next step, we're always going to start at the beginning again. So we're going to start on our mat again, and then later we're also going to start on our fence lining again. So I have my mat. I'm going to put it down again. What we're going to now be doing is, before our dog turned with our hand, so with our help, now we're going to go over in not helping our dog anymore. So we're going to lift our hand upwards. Right? So what you're going to do now, your dog is in your position on the mat again. Instead of guiding them with their treat, we're now just going to lift our hand slightly up so they just about can't reach it, and we're gonna they can't do that. Okay. Good. So we're going to lift it up. We still have treats in our hand. We're going to lift it up, and we're going to do the same movement. Okay, and we're going to let them think. We're going to give them the space to think, what do I got to do? They should recognize obviously what they're doing here, and they should take their turn normally. So it looks about like, there you go. Make sure you have their attention. You lift your hand up and you make your turn. And they should turn with you. Okay. If they don't really understand it, what you can do is start with your hand, with guiding them with your hand, and then put it up as you go along. So maybe doing one with your hand and then pulling it up about halfway through the second, doing one without and then putting it back down, and kind of switch until they know, until they understand to fully look at your hand and do the movement. So basically we're just going from guiding them with our hand to putting that hand up. And then the same, now it's going to go really fast for me to explain it to you, and then the same thing as just before. Then we're going to get rid of our mat and we're going to do exactly the same but without the mat. Right? So the same thing as before, we're going to start with our touch, we're going to turn, and then as we're going to go along, we're going to lift our hand up. So he has to do it while looking at our hand instead of actually being guided by it. So it looks something like this. I start with maybe doing it once with my hand. I'm going to make sure you can see. So I start with doing it once with my hand. Now I'm going to lift my hand up, and he does it without that guidance. Okay, and again, you're going to switch to using it, not using it, until your dog can fully do it with just, let me grab a treat, otherwise he's not going to do it. Until your dog can fully do it whilst looking up at your hand. Okay? And the same thing goes for the outside turn, of course. You're going to start with your hand down. You're going to do your outside turn, and then after once or twice, you're going to put your hand up, and you're just going to do the same. Right, hand up, maybe hand down, because I'm seeing that he's going a little bit too fast. So I put my hand down again to correct him. Put it up again when I see he's doing well, until he can fully do it. What are you scared of? Until he can fully do it. Oh, treat. Forgetting treat. Until he can fully do it with his hand, with my hand, not his hand, up. Now make sure he doesn't do that. He does that because of another trick I taught him. That's my mistake. Your dog shouldn't do that, okay? So just like this. If he goes too far, I might tell him, nee. There you go. I might tell him no. Nee. Nee. So he corrects himself a little bit. But by a couple times, there you go. He should understand that he just needs to follow my hand. Don't mind the cat. I think you can predict what we're going to be doing now. The same as with the corners, we're also going to be moving our hand from down here to up here, but this time while walking. We're going to start again by our fence lining. We're always going to start here, and then in a minute, I'm going to also show you. I'm going to also just go to the grass again. All right, so start very easily. You have your treats. You put your dog in the correct position. You take a couple slow steps with, and then you're going to put your hand up for a small second, and then you're going to go down again and reward them. Okay, so start just with a millisecond up and then directly back down. Right, you're going to repeat that and then extend that until you can basically do an entire walk first next to the fence lining with your hand up, and that looks about something like this. Okay. So I'm going to start with my hand down to make sure that he's in a good position. This is something I'm always going to do. It doesn't matter what step. Make sure he's in the correct position. Then I'm going to start walking and put my hand up, and he looks at my hand and is still in the correct position. There you go. And I'm also going to end again, always with putting your hand back down, having them do that touch. And making sure they're in the correct position. Okay. Now, again, I think you can predict what the next step is. Now we're just going to do that instead of next to our fence lining, in freedom, just straight ahead. I have my dog next to me. I'm going to start again with my treat, putting him in the correct position. Same as just a second ago. I'm going to start with walking slowly, a few steps normally, then up for a little second and back down again. Okay, and you start like that, just very easily. And again, extend it as you go along. Put the moments where your hand is up, extend them, make them a little longer until you can fully do a walk just straight ahead with your hand up, and that looks about something like this. So I'm going to start by putting him in the correct position. There you go. Hand up. I start walking. And put my hand back down to reward him. And that's all you need to do. And now, again, the same as step 2. To end your step 3, we are going to bring the last 2 things together. Right? So again, our walking just straight and our corners that we just did with with your dog looking up, we're going to bring the 2 of them together. So it looks a little something like this. The dog is next to you. You put them in the correct position, hand up, start walking, do your corner, and you walk again. And the same thing for the other side. Put your hand down. Oh, I'm going too fast. Put your hand down in the correct position, hand up, start walking straight, corner outside, and continue a little bit. And that's what you need to be able to do by the end of step 3. Okay, if this is a little difficult, if you see that your dog is struggling with your corner, or it doesn't matter what, just switch a little bit. Okay, you always start with just down, up, even with the corners, down, up. It's only at the whole entire end that they need to do it completely with your hand up, okay? Don't rush it. Right. I hope I'm being very clear with the whole don't rush this movement thing, okay? That was step 3 of how to teach your dog how to heel. Make sure to practice this for really a couple of weeks before you go to step 4, maybe even longer. Feel free to share a video of how you and your dog are doing. I would love to see it. And I'd also love to give advice if that's, of course, what you want. And I will see you in a week in step 4. Or you can find the link in the description depending on when you're watching this. I'll see you then.